Peace. Good morning, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency. You're definitely morning podcast of choice. And I will definitely, like as always, say good morning to you. Um, Today is June the 17th. It is a Friday. Man, this week flew by. This week has flown by. It's like yesterday I just said it was Monday, and today is like Friday. But I just want to say thank you and good morning to you for everybody that's watching right now. I pray that your morning has been blessed so far, and I pray that it continues to be blessed. Or if it is not blessed, I pray that you see something that you can receive from today and pull it in and begin to redesign what your day will possibly end like. But it's all about what you think. It's all about your perception and how you perceive your day to be, and you can then go and rewire it and allow it to finish or allow it to be better than what it is right now, based off of how you rewire your process, how you reshape those thoughts and put things in its proper perspective, or just change the perspective or the perspection of everything right now. So I'm gonna jump into today uh, conversation right now. So what I want you to do right now, put the word time in the comment section. So we're gonna talk about time just a little bit. So put the word time in the comment section. So we're gonna talk about this. It's very interesting. We can talk about the measurement of time. We can talk about the definition of time. I'm gonna go into that just a little bit. Then we're gonna take a real quick deep dive, and then we're gonna move on. So I have a question for you. How do you measure time? For you, in your mind, in your life, and the things that you do personally. Uh, what are the things that you do to measure time? Whether it's something that you go and do, or you go and you just take a long drive, you take a long walk, you sit down, you read books, you listen to music, you cook, you eat, whatever it is, you go to the movies. How do you measure your time? That's an open dialogue question. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Measurement of time. So the definition of time, it says the measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or continues. I'm gonna say that again. It says time is a measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or continue. And the inversion on this is the measured, or is red over white, I should say, is the measured or measurable period. So if something is measured or measurable, that means there is something that you have to actively be engaged in doing, because it says to measure. That means that there is an action behind it. There are things that you're physically, psychologically, spiritually doing in order for you to measure or to develop measurable periods to the thing that you want to do, whether it's in life or the things that you do when you're presently in that moment. So if we're talking about the measured or measurable period during an action, process, or condition as it continues, so now let's talk about what measured is. And after this, we're going to take a quick deep dive, because if measured is a plan or course of action taken to achieve a particular purpose, and the inversion on this is white over red, which is an action taken to achieve a purpose. Because remember, we talked about if time is a measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or continues. So if measured is there, so now remember we said that measure is something that you have to actively do. There is action behind it. So it is a plan or course of action taken to achieve a particular purpose. So now, because it is an action taken to achieve a purpose, let's go ahead and take this quick deep dive. So, measurable time. I think a lot of time when we look at, time management and measuring time and things like that, sometimes it's not as technical or cookie cutter as we seem to make it. Or I can personally say it's not as cookie cutter and technical as I seem to make it, because it's not always black and white. Sometimes time is just measured real simple. Time is measured by our choices, time is measured by our decisions, and time is also measured by our actions. That's how you measure time, based on the choices that you've make or made, based on the decisions that you're making or made, and based on the actions that you're doing or have done. That is the measurement of time. Because time is a choice. Because we choose what actions we take just as well as we set the conditions by what we decide to do with our choices. Now, for me, knowing and understanding that time is a decision that you make, so now you have to really begin to pay attention to the decisions that you are making, because if you're talking about the measurement of time, so then how do you really manage it? I mean, you manage time based off of the expectations that you have with it. The expectations of, I want to have this done by this time, so I need to manage my expectations in order for me to fulfill this particular purpose. And because of that, we have to understand that our decisions and our actions, or the process of deciding something, is that we have to begin to make better choices. Making better choices is how and what we need to do with the time that we have, or who we choose to spend it with, or what was done when we chose in that particular moment, in that particular time, in that particular measurement that we've had set out for ourselves during that time. Because right now, especially the way time is going right now, you have a lot of people that's passing away, a lot of situations that's going on. We're on a verge of a possible, gas ain't going nowhere. It's going up, it's fluctuating. But one thing that don't have to fluctuate is how you spend your time. Time is indefinite. Time is continuous. Just like your choices and what you choose to do in life is indefinite. It will always be a process of how you process your time. But I think when we begin to understand that because time is processed, we have to understand that our thoughts is a process as well. We can make it better, we can change it, but you have to make the decision, or we have to make the decision that thing needs to be changed, or that thing needs to be adjusted. Because if you're going to measure anything, it's just like you're making a dish or a food dish. You have to have the proper measurements. If not, it's not going to sit well with you. It's not going to taste right. It's going to be either too salty, too sweet, too bitter. That's the measurement of food. Just like the same thing is when you improperly measure your time, the moment or the conditions that is set could be either too bitter or too low or too high strong, whatever it is. But when you manage your time by choosing the right thing to do, you can ultimately begin to reshape some conditions. And when you reshape those conditions, you have to take a seat back and look at it and observe it and say, okay, these are the steps that I want to take in order for me to make this time better, or to make this moment better, or even just to make this moment different. The measurement of time. So let's look at our choices that we're making. Look at choices that we've made in order for things to be different, in order for things to be better. So measured time is our choices, our decisions, and our actions. That's how you measure time. So pay attention to those things, and I think we can make better decisions. And I think we can begin to manage the time that we have, not just here on this earth or who we choose to spend time with, but just as individuals, because it will make a difference in what you do with your time, because we're all given the same amount of time in a day. We all get 24 hours. We all get 86,400 seconds in that day. But what are you doing with that time? What are you doing within that 24-hour period? Choose wisely. All right, you guys be blessed. And remember, I will see you on Monday 7:30, right here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. You be blessed and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And happy Juneteenth, y'all. Peace.